my life consists of the same things. I think most of us can say that. So our lives are a certain, you know, we have a certain program, a certain way we do things, a routine. And my routine is a lot of kitchen work. I do a lot of cooking, and I do a lot of recanning and things like that. And while I'm not going to be doing as much canning as what I used to do, I still do some canning. So I shouldn't have said, I made a statement and said there's not going to be homesteading. Well, what I meant that is I meant that there's not going to be any animals, chickens, homesteading. But I still do a lot of, I'm not living a luxurious life, that is for sure. So we're home 95% of the time, and I'm still doing all the cooking, and I'm doing all the cleaning, I'm doing all of the canning, I'm doing all of the freezing, garden work. All of that is the same. None of that changed. It's just, I was sharing about some upgrades that we have here at the home. And you know, I've always been an honest person on my videos, and somebody said one time I'm too honest. But I've always been an honest person. I just wanted to share with you, you know, all of the things that we're doing here, and to just motivate you and give you something to watch. You know, I know, you know, somebody made a statement, well, you think this is worthy of making a video about? Well, yes. You know, everybody's life is worthy of making a video about. You know, it's the little things in life. And I think so many times we think as women, we think that we have to have this spectacular life, you know. Oh, you know, we have to be this, we have to have this big future and this big, you know, everything has to be spectacular, everything has to be perfect, you know, and little things aren't worth videotaping or worth remarking about in our lifetime. And I think that's really sad, because it's the ordinary that makes things extraordinary. And when I look back on my life, I'm not going to think about the extraordinary things I thought I did. It's the ordinary life. When my mom and dad passed away, I still have the flashbacks of the memories. And the memories I have are not extraordinary things. It's everyday memories of my mom and dad. Days going with my dad on the truck, you know, to get mobile home supplies. My father had mobile home parks, retirement villages. And so mobile homes were a big part of our life. We didn't live in a mobile home, but he had these beautiful retirement parks and retirement villages for 55 and older. And we would go, and he would buy manufactured homes, and it was just extremely beautiful opportunity that I was able to be a part of and live in. And those are the memories. Going on mowing days, you know, we would mow around the laundromats. We had beautiful little communities, and it was amazing. It's not like some of the trailer parks you think of nowadays. This was luxurious. And so those are the memories that I have. And so my videos are sharing with you my memories, sharing with you my life, to maybe make you think about your life and think about how your ordinary life can be extraordinary, because it's your life. I mean, come on. Like, there's no other homestead Tessies. There's a lot of homestead Sarahs, homestead Junes, but there's no one like me. And so while maybe we all do the same things, we do it differently. And it's so much fun, because it's a meal that I put together, not a recipe. But you know what? You maybe have some potatoes that you need to get used up today. And you may watch my video and you may say, you know what? Her scallop potatoes look good, using just some cream soups and some potatoes. And then all of a sudden, I make an impact on your life, because you didn't know what to make that night for supper. You saw my video and you're making it. You see, it's the little impacts in life. It's the little things in life that make a huge difference. So if we're waiting for the big things in life, we are really losing out on 90% of our life, because 90% of it isn't the big things. It's the little things that make life so sweet. So what I did was I added some ground beef, a little bit of some breadcrumbs, and some ranch dressing, and that was ranch burgers. Now what I am doing is I am making some scallop potatoes. I took 1 can of cream of chicken soup, and I added some cheese, and it's absolutely amazing. I just mixed a whole bunch of things together, and it made the best scallop potatoes. I added a little bit of my cheese sauce. The cheese sauce is nacho cheese, and then I add a few tomatoes and some spices, and I can that, and it's absolutely wonderful in a recipe like this. So this is basically what I added to sliced potatoes, raw. I added some dried chives on top. So what you're seeing is just raw potatoes with the chives. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pour the cream soup and cheese mixture on top. Then I'm going to bake it in a 350-degree oven until the potatoes are done. It takes about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. I could not believe how good this was. It is a family favorite, and it really didn't take much of any time to do it. Most of the time in my everyday cooking, I don't follow recipes. And it's amazing how it turns out. So I am making small little mini bread. I'm just going to use these antique pans that I got recently at the thrift store. I want to make sure I oil them really well because they are the old pans. So I'm just putting this dough in and letting that rise. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the burgers. Now the burgers was a recipe, and it was so simple. It was 2 pounds of ground beef, and it was 1 cup of ranch dressing, and it was 1 cup of breadcrumbs. And all you do is you mix it together, and it was really good too. Everything turned out so well. Now, I never made these ranch burgers before, but it is another hit. It came from the 1970s cookbook. So I'm using up little bits of stuff that I had in the refrigerator, and this is a great way of using things like this up. So we're going to go ahead and mix up the burgers. Bake Teal House's starter. I'm going to direct you to her channel so you can see every step of it, because it takes 5 days in the refrigerator. We're going to add 1 cup of warm water, 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, and this is what I really liked about it. It takes potato flakes and sugar. So we're going to go with 4 tablespoons of potato flakes. And then it calls for 3/4 cup of sugar. Sit at room temperature for 24 hours, then put it in the refrigerator for 5 days. Remove from the fridge and feed it with basically the same amount of food again. Let it stand 12 hours, and then you can start using it. So we'll let this sit 24 hours. All right, so we have the burgers made. I just got to put them into the little frying pan that I have. And we have the potatoes in the oven. The bread is rising. I'm going to clean up everything, and then we'll get back to what else I'm working on today. I had a couple more number 10 cans of tomatoes that I am recanning. If you missed that video, I will share that here at the end of this one because I just recently did a video on it. So I'm doing all of this for meal preps, to get ready, to get everything out of my refrigerator, to start another whole week. So we are going to be canning these tomatoes. Hopefully you can follow along with this video because there's a lot of things going on, so it's a little hard to explain everything that I am doing. But we are recanning these tomatoes, and I'll put them in the canner as well.